money fast on this side. I think I'm Big Meech.
The streets of Detroit, they're on fire right now, and it's up to Detective Bryant to try and stop this madness and clean up the streets. But he will need to move effectively and quickly, or all of his work will be swept up under the rug. The DEA is going to come in, aka Special Agent Chambers, and take over all of his operations and start to try to bring people down. They already got K9 off the list. Who has Detective Bryant got as of right now? 2 lowlifes and 1.5 bricks. So Detective Bryant, we're going to break down how you got to get through this in order to make things right. But before we do, if you like BMF content, breakdowns, theories, and predictions like this, hit your subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button and follow me on Instagram right here. Now, Detective Bryant, he might be the worst cop, but what we do over here, we look at both sides and we try to figure it out for everybody. So Brian and Veronica, instead of having those late night fun sessions, y'all need to be out on another stakeout trying to figure out where B Mickey is, where Meech is, because it's getting tough out here for you. So let's jump into it. First, let's take a look at Detective Bryant's face. This looks like a face of defeat because they're just getting information that Commander Beckwith is gone. Now we got Major Gar coming in, and he has a little change in plans. What do we know about Detroit as of right now? No one has been getting locked up. Detective Bryant and Veronica have been working together. We don't know how long it's been, but it's been enough time for Terry and Meech to go to Atlanta, come back, go back down to St. Martin, come back with 300 bricks. There's a lot going on. K9 has been moving around. We know 3 murders that K9 committed. No one's done anything. Well, guess what? The DEA is coming in, and Detective Bryant and Veronica are hearing this news for the first time, and it's making them look at each other thinking, what did we just do, and who authorized this? But the thing is, the DEA, they've been doing their own little research, and they actually locked up none other than K9 for 50 bricks in intent to distribute drugs across the city. Now, with him in custody, this has Detective Bryant and Veronica saying, hey, Major, real quick, if you arrest him, that's just going to pop up new drug dealers. So what they're saying is that as long as K9 was the top dog, they knew all the small players. But with this happening, you never know who's going to step up. And while they're saying this, we know Meech and Terry are stepping up with 300 bricks, 6 times the amount that K9 had. So Brian is already upset about this because he thought, all right, look, if we keep K9 at the top, I know there's going to be a guy named Boom on the side. Meech and Terry are going to be up under him. But now everything has just exploded in front of him. You even see his partner on his right. Well, his co-worker, he's looking at him like, damn, Detective Bryant, you should have been working a little bit faster. But we know that Bryant has been in the evidence room stealing bricks to put out on the streets. He replaced them with some knockoffs. So Detective Bryant isn't that clean of a cop, but his only mission while he's on the police force is to bring down none other than our man Meech. So with this happening, this is going to take away all the power that he could potentially have because the feds, they have more money to put into this. And they've been following people around. So once it starts crossing state lines, Detective Bryant can't do anything about that. But he's telling Major, hey, I've been working on this. This is something personal that he wants to do. And what do we know about jobs? You should never get your personal feelings involved in it. There shouldn't be emotions. But we've seen that all changes at the end of this episode. So Detective Bryant, he really has to get on his A game. We all know about jurisdictions, and you hear Veronica getting upset because once the feds start coming in, any information that the police have, they can take that from them. And one thing about Special Agent Chambers that we've seen, she's not playing around. Even Major Gar, he can't do nothing. She said, I want this war room here. I want all files. I want information. I want it now. Now, Veronica and Bryant, they're trying to take it as, hey, let's work together on this. We can come to a common ground. But as of right now, she just got a man off the streets with 50 bricks. You think she's trying to work with 2 detectives that haven't arrested anybody? The last known arrest with 2 people with 1.5 bricks. You see what I'm saying? 50 compared to 1.5. It doesn't compare. So Special Agent Chambers, even though we know in the future she's going to be right there with Bryant, she's going to have a little bit of information that no one else knows. Because when the feds are involved, they know who K9 was getting that work from. Now, they're going to probably change it up for the storyline, but if they arrested him with 50 bricks, I'm pretty sure they were tracing where the money came from, how the bricks got there. So this could equal on both sides. For the cops, a good thing, but on Meech and Terry's side, something bad, because Special Agent Chambers, she's not using feelings. She's trying to get it done. As I stated in the intro, we have a new person of interest because they need to move quickly, and that person is Hoop. So they're going to have to figure him out. Now, Veronica does a little digging, and he did have a case file on him, but it was sealed because he was young, but she does know this information. We're not sure what happened, but we already had our ideas and theories about Hoop. And maybe he might be stealing product. Also, whatever he did with Dink, for Dink to go to Terry and not to him, that was a little bit foul. But Hoop, it looks like he's about to be one of our number one suspects, and they follow him to a house. And at this house, he switches vehicles, drops some work off. We know how the car wash is working. Bryant and Veronica don't know about the car wash yet, so they just got to follow Hoop, and it looks like he might be the one to lead them back to that and could make things tougher for him, because I told you all, it's going to be hot in these streets, and Hoop, he has inside information. So with B. Mickey on the run, could he step up and be the person that Detective Bryant uses to get close to Meech? Because at this point, they need to find somebody. We know what happened with Wanda at the skating rink. She wanted to hit Terry in the head with a skate, but she decided not to because Meech is going to take care of her. So she goes to talk to Bryant and Veronica because she was on a 48-hour deadline to give them some kind of information. But they end up striking out. Veronica, Bryant, another X on the sheet. They get nothing from Wanda because Wanda tells them, stay away from my family. Dad is still the father of my children. This leads Bryant and Veronica to go have some extracurricular activities at the house to clear their minds. Now, this relationship, it looks like it's going to get closer because Detective Bryant finds the burn marks on her body because she takes out all the anger and frustration from the day of the job on herself. But this is where things start to shift, and those emotions that Detective Bryant had, they're not going to be there for Veronica, but instead for his own son. And that's because B. Mickey broke in his house, threw him in the closet. Now, we don't know who did this, but Detective Bryant looking around, being an officer, noticing that his picture is smashed and nothing was stolen, but the gun, the case that it was in, they opened up the shelf and looked at it. He probably knows exactly who it is. And it was B. Mickey because he has 2 guns on him. Now, we know Brian is a dirty cop, but he's bending the rules, and we know 20 years later, we see him arresting Terry. So he must be maneuvering good enough in these streets, even though he's dirty, to figure this out. So now he's going to have to risk it all for his son because B. Mickey has just crossed the line and now emotions are really involved. All right, let me know what you think about Detective Bryant. Are they going to be able to use Hoop and get some information out of him? Because that's what it's looking like. Hoop might be the next person that Detective Bryant uses and uses and uses until he gets this information on Meech and Terry, especially B. Mickey. But let me know what you think about Detective Bryant. Is he going to be able to pull through all of this, or the Fed's going to do the heavy lifting? Let me know what you think. I'm Mo.J. If you like this content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.